What's up guys, this is Tabletop Vibes, and finally I have decided to do a video about my favorite board game in my collection, Wonderland Wars by Druid City Games. Oh my gosh, where to start with this game? Okay, so this is my favorite game. I have probably played it around 50 or so more times. I think my favorite character currently is the Queen of Hearts. Off with their heads. If you also see my shirt, I love the Mad Hatter, Mad Vibes here. And so let's dive into what makes Wonderland Wars such a great game. Okay, if you don't know what Wonderland Wars is, or the story of Alice in Wonderland, Alice goes into Wonderland and everybody's gone mad. She brings madness to Wonderland in this story. And so you get these shards that are madness shards that are negative points. You also have chips in this game because it's a bag builder, it's worker placement, and it's drafting with a little bit of area control. And so, in the first phase, is called the Tea Party phase. Everybody takes their favorite leader, Alice, the Jabberwocky, Mad Hatter, the Queen, and Cheshire, and you pick one. They all have asymmetric abilities and cool different abilities that they do. So let's go over really quick all of those before I dive into the Tea Party phase. Okay, so Alice is super fun. She has the ability to use Swords of Hope, which can make her shield better or unshield and shield. She can recruit a Wonderlandian to her cause for the round. She goes counterclockwise around the Tea Party table, which makes more sense later, which is very fun. Okay, then we got the Mad Hatter. He's super cool. He's got his teacups. He can send out his guys to go get extra drafting cards to take a shard. They have fixed it, so in the beginning, the Mad Hatter was super OP, and he was just everybody who played with him most of the time just won. He was really OP. The expansion came out for Wonderland Wars, and they also did an update on the player board for the Mad Hatter and for the Jabberwocky. So let's go into the Jabberwocky. Super powerful, the Jabberwocky. He's a monster dude. He's super cool. He goes off different chips, can make him stronger, and he can just do lots of cool things. Well, they upgraded him to be more balanced because he was kind of the lesser than inside the group of leaders, Wonderlandians, that you can choose from, in my opinion. All right, and then we have the Queen of Hearts. She's got her little card guys out there that you put out on the board. She does off with her head, where you put her in a location and she takes out one supporter from each person that's there. If she laps you on the Tea Party phase, she can put out one more supporter. She can divide her forces out and up into different regions, which is she's the only person. So if you put out supporters, you can only put out in one region unless you're the Queen. Okay, and then Chesh. He's super cool. He's all about manipulating armies and vanishing, right? So he can move your army or move his army and move it over here. He can take one of your guys and switch out to his guys. He's all manipulation. So he's really cool. So yeah, those are the characters. So then you have the Tea Party phase, which is drafting. So on the table, there's this the board is beautiful, right? And you're going on the Tea Party phase. You start at the top of the Tea Party table, sitting at the top of the head of the table, and everybody goes clockwise. And you're grabbing different cards, 4 cards, depending on how many players, that changes. And you're going around the Tea Party table, each Tea Party phase, until everybody has 4 cards. Alice goes counterclockwise around the table while everybody's going clockwise. So she's going, right? Okay, so you draft these cards. On these cards, what do they have on them? Chips, because this is a bag builder. So you get to put chips into your bag and put out meeples to different locations. You have quest cards that are like objectives that you can complete with the most chips, or win this battle here, or win strength here with this amount of strength, and get VP to complete it, right? So that is the Tea Party phase, and everybody does that until you have at least 4 cards. Then you assign your leader out into Wonderland in different locations, Tuggly Woods, Pool of Tears, the Red Keep, something Meadows. There's like 5 of them. You'll get to see on the screen. And so you put them out in all these different locations, and you're trying to fight in the battle phase for location dominance. The cool part is when you put out your guys, they don't come back unless they are killed. So it's kind of a weird thing. So you don't want to over clump your guys into one area because they're going to stay. And you don't want to overload too many areas because you spread yourself too thin. So there's kind of like that fun mind melt, right? So then you do all that. And then whoever has the most shards going into the battle phase takes another madness chip. So you stock your bag at the beginning with all of your own person's chips plus 2 madness. One of them is a double madness chip and a forge chip. And so every round, which there are 3 rounds to this game, and then the game is over. Whoever has the most victory points wins. But then at the start of every battle phase, you decide who has the most shards, and that person gets 2 new madness chips. Everybody else will take 1. So how does that work, and what does that mean, right? So when you battle, you have a strength counter on one side of the board, and when you battle, everybody dives into their bag. You don't look, no looking. It's a push your luck game, okay? And you pull out your chip, you hold it out, and everybody counts 1, 2, 3, and you flip it, right? Whatever that chip is, certain chips do certain things. The cool, fun part about this game is they have A, B, C, D side that you can apply to each of these chips. The same chip, they just give you different abilities, what they do. And then everybody looks at their chip and the strength, and they move up that strength and do whatever that chip does, right? Whoever gets to either pushes their luck farthest with however many guys you have. So everybody who has a supporter in a region has pretty much each worker guy you have. We call them meat bags because they're just taking damage, right? They're not worth anything. They just take hits for you. Your leader has strength, and they can make you move up the track as well. And so whoever wins that battle can then castle that region, which is a +2 strength for your supporters. Next round, if you fight there again, you can't castle in the same place multiple times, but it is a strong hold, I guess you could say, for your next battle, okay? Everybody's doing this, you're fighting, everyone's pulling chips back and forth out of their bag. So you can also bust where you have one guy left and you draw yours and then you reveal it and it's a madness chip. You can either shield it and then put that chip back in your bag, shake it back up and hope you draw something better, or you pull the same chip again and you bust, which means that you're no longer in the running to win the area location, right? So everybody does this for 3 rounds. It's madness, pun intended, and it's just a blast. The premium chips in this game are fantastic. I know that some people don't like upgrading their game or buying the deluxe version. I recommend the deluxe version 110%. The chips are beautiful, they feel great, and the bags are really cool. You put them in, they all have your character on them. And so, yeah, this is just like my favoriteest game. I mean, it's just a really good time. It's a little long when you first learn to play because there is a lot of mechanics and moving parts, but once you get it down, you can play pretty decently fast, probably in 2.5 hours, if not less. So it does play up to 5 players. I think you can still play to 5 players. It makes it more fun having everybody play their faction, you know, not having somebody left out. It is a lot of fun. You also, if you play with less, you can just cover up locations on the drafting tea party table so that only a certain amount of cards come out. There's level 1 decks, level 2 decks, and level 3 decks. And there's Wonderlandians, which is a huge stack of different guys that you can recruit to your cause to help you go in battle. Like Tweedledee and Tweedledum, they're super fun. They're inseparable. So if you put them in 2 different spots, when one of them gets knocked out or destroyed, he goes to where the brother is, right? Or vice versa. So there's that. There's the Griffin. He's really cool. If you win the battle, I think it depends on which version you play with too, because there's multiple cards of these. He flies out and goes to the next battle. And so there's just so much cool, like, moving parts and lore and components. If you're not a fan of Wonderland, like the story, I don't know, this is still a fun game. If you really like Wonderland and the story of Wonderland and Alice, like, this is just a blast. They also just came out with an expansion, Shards of Madness. It's cool. It adds like starter cards to kind of like ramp you up more to start off. Everybody gets like a certain hand of card, like guy, chips, meeples. So it kind of gives a new twist. You also have a new Wonderland War deck. They're all like corrupted, like they're all full of madness, and they all do different things now instead of like the other deck. And there's pink gems, What's not like about that? So this is my favoriteest game. Definitely, if you haven't played it, find someone who owns it and play it, or go buy it. I totally recommend it. It's amazing. And this has been Wonderland Wars. I'm Tabletop Vibes, Mad Vibes. Thanks for watching. I hope you like this video. Like, subscribe, comment who your favorite Wonderland person is in the stories, or if maybe you've never even read them. So let me know. We appreciate you guys. Tabletop Vibes out.